Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It's time for Taroscopes again. We're going to be doing the Taroscopes for the sign of Scorpio. That's Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon, Scorpio Rising for the month of September. Before we get into that, I want to welcome all my new subscribers. Welcome to this lovely community of like-minded souls, star seekers, seekers of wisdom, sharers of wisdom. It's a great community here, full of people with talents and compassion and love of humanity. We need more of this, quite honestly. We need more groups like this. So welcome to our little family. For those who have been with me for years, thank you for your continued support. It means the world to me. Now we're going to be doing a card reading using the Tarot of Transformation and the Tree of Life Oracle. But before we get to that, I'd like to just do a little astrology, just go over some of the significant astrology for you, Scorpio. Number one, I want to say, which is, this has to do with all of us, but Uranus, the planet of a sudden change, is stationing retrograde on the first day of September. It is at 27, 28 degrees of Taurus when it does that. And so that's actually the opposite sign of yours. And of course, Saturn has been in Taurus now for, I think, 6 years. So it's not something that we're unfamiliar with, but it is, did I say Saturn? I meant Uranus. Uranus is always a little bit of a wild card. And we're dealing with relationships because it's in your seventh house for Scorpio. So there have been maybe some sudden changes in your relationship. When Uranus goes retrograde, it becomes maybe a little less revolutionary and a little bit more thoughtful, but you never really know with Uranus. We also have Pluto, your ruling planet, slip back into Capricorn. It's been in Aquarius now since January, and now it has retrograded back into Capricorn. That also happens on the first day of the month. And it's going to be in Capricorn until the 20th of November when it goes back into Aquarius, where it stays for about 20 years. So this is the last sort of gasp, the period at the end of the sentence when it comes to Saturn. Pluto and Capricorn. It is going to stay in that 30th degree, that last degree. And it's a very powerful degree, and it's a very powerful time. And so it behooves us to keep in mind the lessons that we've learned over the last 16 years when Pluto was in Capricorn. So that's happening. We also have a new moon on the 2nd. It's at 13 degrees of Virgo, and Virgo and Scorpio are both signs that deal with adjustments that need to be made. And there's a resonance and a simpatico between these two signs. And so it's actually, it would be a good time for you, Scorpio, to institute maybe a new network, time to go out and make some new friends. It's in your house of friendship. It's in your house of new goals. It's kind of an exciting and could be potentially a fun time for you. We also have a full moon in the sign of Pisces. Now that is your house of romance. It is an eclipse, however, so it can bring some instability or it can bring some shocks. It is sextile. This particular full moon is sextile Uranus, so Uranus is part of the picture as well. But sextiles are lovely. They open the lines of communication, and you might even get some communication from your own higher self at this time. And of course, it's an eclipse, so it's always a powerful time anyway. As far as other things that you might be interested in, as a Scorpio, you have two planets, or what we call co-rulers in astrology. One of them is Pluto. We talked about that, moving back into Capricorn. And one of them is Mars. And Mars starts the month in Gemini. In fact, last month it made a conjunction to Jupiter in Gemini. That was a big deal. But by the 4th of the month, it moves into Cancer. Now, Mars doesn't particularly like being in Cancer because Mars likes forward motion, and Cancer it doesn't actually, the crab doesn't even know how to move forward. It's not anatomically incapable of moving forward. It always has to go sideways or it has to go back. So it's a little circuitous when Mars is um, in Cancer, but it is a fellow water sign and it does have feelings. It is very deeply feeling. It's a deeply feeling Mars. And while you may like point A to point B, like most folks, you're willing to do the circuitous path as well. So I think that you can get a lot of information on feelings and the like. And I think Mars and Cancer is actually something that you might actually enjoy. Um, the sun moves into Libra on the 22nd. So that's when the sun moves into your 12th house. And on that day, Venus moves into Scorpio. So it's in Libra, it's in your 12th house. Venus is in your 12th house till the 22nd, and then moves into your first house. Having Venus in your first house is nice. Venus is the planet of love and attraction. And so you're even more attractive than you normally are, which is pretty attractive because Scorpios have a magnetism, bar none, actually, bar none. Nobody is as magnetic as Scorpio. All right, I'm just looking at just general stuff. I think that's all we're going to say about that. If you're interested in the astrology of the day, check out my mornings when I walk through the garden and talk about the astrology of the day, or you can check out my weekly offerings, the astrology of the week ahead. Sometimes I actually get the astrology of like 2 weeks or maybe a whole month, but things have been so intense that I really had to take it a week at a time. So you can check that out. All right, let's take a look at, oh dear, look at that. I had another card in there. Oh. Let's take a look at your cards using the Tarot of Transformation. It's a deck that I had for years and years, and it's one of my favorites, really. And of course, Scorpio is the sign of transformation, so why not use the Tarot of Transformation to see what's ahead for Scorpio? Okay, just a few more quick shuffles. One more. You can tell my older cards because they're all a mess. Well loved, my well loved cards. All right. All right, let's see what we're starting with here. We start with the Five of Swords. It's called Holding the Vision in this deck. Five of Swords in other decks is usually abuse of power. In this deck, that's not really the vibe in this deck. This is suggesting that there can be a lot of distractions and and in a way, I guess there can be some abuse of power with that. People trying to get you off your aim, get you off what you're focused on. And this says it doesn't matter what's going on around you. You must focus on that which you want to bring forth. All right. Crossing the Master of Wands. The Master of Wands. This is like the King of Wands. There's a challenge here, either from an authority, could be a religious authority, or it could be you are challenged to stay in charge of your own spiritual perceptions, your own spiritual journey. If you know in your heart of hearts that this is where you need to be, if this is what inspires you, if this is what brings you passion, you must continue even though not everybody may agree with you. Underneath it all, we have the Six of Discs. It's called the Web of Life. You have created this reality to a certain extent. We all create our reality to all extents, really. And so this is about finding balance. This is both financial balance, but it's also, there is a sense of giving back here, giving back to the community, giving back to society. And it's part of that. I feel like whatever's going on right now is your way of being a responsible citizen, responsible citizen. The whole deck is upside down. In the past, we have the 10 of Cups called Joyous Flow. So it's been pretty cool of late. Things have been working in your favor. There can be a little bit excess with this card, so you do have to watch that you're not involving yourself in any excessive activity such as drinking or escapism or things like that. The 10 of Cups can be that, but in general, it is about good times, flow, feeling taken care of, sort of a really nice energy in the past. Let's see what's in the sky. The Two of Discs. This is about balance. Balance says balancing the material life. So this is about, I mean, maybe the summer was great and there was a lot of, partying, entertainment, just fun, fun, fun in the sun. And now you're reminded that that's fine. You can have your fun, but you also have to balance it with responsibility, balance it and take note of the income, the inflow and the outflow of things, especially financially. Just a suggestion that you balance your finances, really. In the immediate future, we have the Teacher of Discs called Passionate Play. This really speaks to me of doing what you love and really like what are you passionate about? That needs to be part of your work. That needs to be uh, what your focus is on, is to be doing something that feels both helpful, supportive, and yet you really like doing it. You really like doing it. So perhaps what you're focusing on is that thing, to find that thing that is that will bring passion. And there's I have a saying that I got from one of my teachers that I often say, do what you love and love what you do, and you never work a day in your life. That's the feeling I get here. So maybe that's what you need to look at. How it's seen from the outside, the Fool. Some people are going to think you're a little foolish, while others realize that you're on a whole new path. You're on a whole new journey. So, it's your path. They're just looking at it from the outside. Your domestic situation, we have the Moon. This can be emotional ups and downs. This can also be addiction. So there may be somebody in your family around you that is tending towards escapism. I think you just have to be careful of that. Keep an eye open for that. If that's you, that's not going to work. The Moon really is about allowing things to come up from the subconscious, to observe it, to see it, to work with it. It's not easy because it's generally pretty emotional. Hopes and fears, the trust walk. This is about putting your foot forward without really knowing where you're going. Trust that your foot knows where to go. Trust in spirit. Trust that your path, however circuitous, and we have this energy of circuitous path here, which is something I said about Mars being in Cancer. There's a lot of and Mars in Cancer, just to say about that, is a real journey through your feelings and your emotions, which you're a Scorpio, so that's not really, it's not like you're Aquarius and you're like, emotions, what are those? You feel, but trust is a little bit harder to come by for you. So I would say you have to hopes and fears, your don't fear it. What hopes, don't even bother with the fear. Just know that you can trust spirit to help guide you. Outcome, we have the Ten of Wands. In this deck, it's called the non-self or the no self. This is an ability to allow the spirit to move through you, to release your ego. Now, Scorpio is an energy of releasing of the ego and surrendering to the soul. And that's what this card speaks of in this deck. And I think that you're going to have an opportunity to do that. And we get the Tower, shattering structures. So this is, we have a release, a letting go, and then an illumination. This was the same card that ended the Cancer reading. So it seems like this is a card we may see in all the water sign readings. But Kali always expects us, or requires us, I shouldn't say expects, requires us to really be who we truly are, to sort of take down the facades, all those personas that you put out so other people think you're something that you're not, and you're sort of not showing who you truly are. Who you truly are. See what's underneath it? Strength. So you have the strength. The Master of Discs. This is mastering the material world and the world, or the cosmos card, the multidimensional universe. I feel like you're in the process of breaking through to another level of understanding of consciousness. And there's a lot of people around you that don't necessarily understand why you're doing it, but you're doing it because it is your nature. It's your nature to move in and down and to the depths so that you can rise up like the phoenix. There are three symbols for Scorpio. There's the scorpion, which is considered sort of the lower vibrational Scorpio, vengeful, also fearful, right? It's the scorpion only bites when, you stick your foot in the boot and the scorpion's in there, it's going to bite you. Right, it backs up and then the thing comes up like this, right? So you want to avoid Scorpio. You want to avoid scaring a Scorpio, right? But or sticking your foot on a Scorpio, it's not good. And then the next symbol is the eagle, and the eagle rises up to see the big picture and the small detail. And then the last symbol of Scorpio is the phoenix, which in fact is right behind me here, just to show you the phoenix that rises from the ashes. See that? There's the phoenix. All right. So there is a transformational process going on, and you're right in the middle of it. You're right in the middle of it. I'm not going to say it's easy, but is it ever easy, Scorpio? I can't imagine. Easy breezy is not usually things that we say about Scorpio, although it looks like you had a nice summer, so it was a nice rest. Little easy breezy. Little easy breezy is good. All right, well, looks like big transformational changes happening. But I think that it's not just Scorpio, it's humanity. But because Scorpio has so much experience in the transformational process, you guys pretty much lead the way. So thank you for being willing to do that. All right, I just stick this card. I had this card like stuck in another card, doesn't belong in there. Let me put it in its rightful place. Okay, I feel better now. My Virgo's showing. All right, let's take a look at the Tree of Life Oracle. We'll see what the Tree of Life Oracle says for Scorpio. Advice for Scorpio, Tree of Life Oracle, for the month of September. How would they best move through this process of shedding the facade and showing their true self, their true strength, their willingness to sacrifice the ego to reemerge, to merge with the soul. All right. We have the pillar of mercy, grace, peace, and love. There are three pillars in the tree of life. The pillar of mercy, which is considered the pillar of the past, the pillar of the middle pillar, which is the pillar of transformation, and the pillar of severity. And the pillar of mercy, the symbol is the shield. So what this tree of life is saying to you, Scorpio, is that you are protected through this process. You are protected, and you're protected because of the work you've done in the past, the due diligence that you've shown in the past. Thank you. Oh, got a treat. All right, so that's worry not, Scorpio. Spirit has your back. You can trust in spirit. You can't trust in people all the time, but you can trust in spirit. All right, well, that's the story. Have yourself a good month. Be aware, take care. Something I always say. You're the way shower, Scorpio. You're showing us how it's done. You've had a lot of experience, and we're right behind you. All right, take care of yourselves, everyone, please. It's an intense time. Make sure you get enough rest, enough hydrate yourself. Take it, sort of take it as it comes. Don't push the river. It won't work. Go with the flow. All right, take care, everyone. I'll see you again next month. Oh, if you want to take a class, a Tree of Life class with me, Kabbalah, Introduction to the Kabbalah, I'm starting one in September, third week of September, starting Thursdays, and they go for 6 weeks. There are two classes. The first one is the Introduction to the Tree of Life, so you get all the technical stuff. And then the second class is how I work with the tree. But both classes are a lot of fun, and you meet a lot of really interesting and tapped in folk. So if you want to join us, you can. There's a link below, and you can register for the class. Okay, take care, everyone. Namaste.